This looks like a Ghibli movie for kids. It's not. It's a one-way ticket into a cosmic meat grinder where cute characters suffer body horror that would make Cronenberg blush. So why is it an absolute masterpiece? Our story kicks off in a town built around a giant, mysterious hole in the ground called the Abyss. It's filled with ancient relics and monsters, and the people who explore it are called cave raiders. The vibe is pure whimsical adventure, with our hero, a little girl named Riko, dreaming of finding her long-lost mother in the depths. You're lulled into a false sense of security by the round, soft art style and cheerful kids. This is a deliberate, calculated act of psychological warfare by the author, and frankly, I respect the hustle. The world building here isn't just background detail, it's the main antagonist. The Abyss is a living, breathing hellscape with its own set of unbreakable rules. The most important one is the curse. Going down is easy, but every time you try to ascend, the Abyss punishes you. First, it's just nausea. Go deeper. And trying to come up means bleeding from every orifice, losing your sanity, or just straight up ceasing to be human. This transforms the entire show from a treasure hunt into a terrifying one-way survival horror where the only way out is down. Meet our protagonists, a 12-year-old with a death wish, and her walking, talking Leatherman multi-tool. Riko is a brilliant but reckless orphan obsessed with the Abyss. Her self-preservation instinct is not just zero, it's in the negative. Then there's Reg, an amnesiac robot boy she finds, who can shoot a god-tier laser beam but has the emotional maturity of a toaster. Their decision to descend is framed as brave. But let's be real, it's the single dumbest choice any child has ever made in anime history, and I love them for it. For the first few episodes, you think you know what you're in for. It's dangerous, sure, but in a fun, video gamey way. They fight a big bird, they cook weird food, it's a good time. Then episode 4 happens. Riko gets attacked, and Reg has to save her with his incinerator cannon, blasting the monster and the surrounding landscape to bits. The aftermath is grim, and the show's tone shifts permanently. This is the moment the training wheels come off, and the series looks you dead in the eye and says, "Oh, you thought this was a game? Cute." On the second layer, they meet Ozan the Immovable, a legendary white whistle who knew Riko's mom. She's built like a brick shithouse and has the personality of one, too. Ozan is the best and worst mentor figure imaginable, subjecting the kids to a survival training that is basically just 10 days of psychological and physical torture. She beats them, starves them, and leaves them for dead in the wilderness. And yet, there's a twisted logic to her cruelty. She's showing them the bare minimum of what it takes to not die instantly, and it's absolutely captivating to watch. Let's talk more about the curse, because this is where the show weaponizes its cute art style. In episode 10, Riko is grievously injured, and Reg has to carry her upwards to escape a monster. The curse of the 4th layer hits her full force. The result is one of the most harrowing sequences I have ever seen in animation. It's a graphic, unflinching depiction of agony, made 1,000 times worse because it's happening to a character who looks like she belongs on a lunchbox. It's not edgy for the sake of it. It's a brutal, necessary lesson about the reality of their journey. Just when you think you've hit rock bottom, The show hands you a shovel and introduces Nanachi and Mitty. Their backstory is the emotional core of the season and a fucking tragedy. They were orphans tricked into participating in an experiment to overcome the curse. It involved putting two children in a rickety elevator, lowering them into the 6th layer, the sex, and then yanking only one of them back up. The result? Mitty became an immortal, suffering blob of flesh, and Nanachi became a blessed half-beast who had to watch. This isn't just dark, it's soul-crushingly bleak. And who was running this nightmare elevator? Only the best dad in anime, Bondrewd the Sovereign of Dawn. This guy is the perfect villain. He's not motivated by greed or power. He's a scientist pursuing knowledge at any cost, and that cost is usually a busload of orphans. What makes him so terrifying is his demeanor. He's polite, fatherly, and genuinely seems to love the children he turns into screaming flesh carpets. He embodies the Abyss's central theme, a relentless, immoral pursuit of discovery that is both wondrous and monstrous. It would be a crime not to mention the god-tier production. The art is breathtaking, with lush, imaginative landscapes that feel vast and ancient. Kevin Penkin's musical score is a character in itself, swinging from ethereal and beautiful to deeply unsettling and industrial. It perfectly captures the dual nature of the Abyss, its beauty and its horror. The contrast between the whimsical visuals and the gut-wrenching violence is the entire point. It's what makes the story so unforgettable and prevents the horror from just feeling like cheap shock value. So, should you watch Made in Abyss? Honestly, it depends on your pain tolerance. If you want a story with incredible world building, high emotional stakes, and a genuine sense of terrifying adventure, then absolutely. But if you can't handle graphic violence and psychological horror involving children, stay far, far away. This 2017 classic from Studio Kinema Citrus, based on Akihito Tsukushi's manga and directed by Masayuki Kojima, is a masterpiece of tone. It's a 13-episode descent into a beautiful nightmare you won't easily forget. Thank you so much for watching this dive into the Abyss with me on Top Screen Tales. If you enjoyed getting emotionally wrecked, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Now, I need to know, what film, anime, or series should I traumatize myself with next? Let me know in the comments.